Hey everyone, Tristan back with another video, and in this video we're taking a look at and reviewing the HifiMan Arya Stealth Magnet version, and these are them here. It's an update to the Arya. It's actually, they're kind of selling it as a separate model. They still sell the Arya, which technically I believe is the Arya V2 now, but they don't call it that. They actually have a whole separate model for these called the Arya Stealth Magnet. And what they did is they added magnets to the drivers, to the outside of the drivers. It's kind of like the Odyssey phaser magnet technology. It's similar to that. And actually, you can kind of see the magnets. If you look carefully in here, you can kind of see those. They're kind of like an inverted cylinder, like out. You know, you kind of see those gray lines in there. And I'm not going to talk much about the build quality of these because I talked about that before in my HifiMan Arya review. So check the right link up here for that, where I talk about the entire build quality of the headphones. They haven't changed that at all. The build quality is still just as good and still the same. They're still very, very comfortable headphones, very light. You know, when you put them on, you know, your ear fits right in there. And when you put them on, they're just really light. Like, I feel like I can wear these all day with no issues at all. Really light and comfortable headphones. But as you can see, the aesthetic is still the same. You know, they say Arya there and HifiMan on the other side, but it's a black aesthetic, nothing super fancy or anything like that. These sell for, I think the retail is actually $15.99, but I think currently as of this video, they're selling for about $12.99. So the prices can tend to fluctuate. I will, however, say that these definitely punch above their price point. These sound as good as headphones costing twice as much, if not even more than twice as much. In fact, I've read on some of the forums that some people prefer the sound of the Stealth Magnet Aryas than they do over headphones like the Odyssey LCD5 or the Dan Clark Stealths in terms of the overall sound signature. Yet those headphones are like $4,000 and above headphones, and these headphones are, you know, $1,200 or $1,300 headphones. So that's pretty impressive. Now, I haven't heard the HifiMan Sasvaras, which are retail $6,000 headphones, but I have heard that these actually in some respects sound better than the Sasvaras. Some reviewers actually prefer the Stealth Magnet Aryas over the Sasvaras. Like, for instance, the Sasvaras have a little bit of a darker sound signature, but not as impactful, and have like a less bass. So actually, these are definitely a good sort of evolution over the original Arya headphones, and I think these are kind of worth the money. I don't regret my purchase at all with these headphones. I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing out of them. They're definitely an improvement. So let's talk about the sound signature in terms of like what's improved with these. The main thing to take note of with these is the sound signature is pretty much the same type of sound signature as the Arya. So you're not getting a drastically different sound. What you are getting though is less brittle highs. So the highs are certainly a bit toned down from the Arya. From the prior Arya. Also, you're getting a bit nicer mids, a bit more smooth mids, maybe a little bit more pronounced mids, and then you're getting a more impactful bass as well. The bass certainly kicks a lot harder as well. Well, no, I wouldn't say a lot harder, but the bass does kick a bit harder than the prior Aryas. So those are basically the overall, you know, changes. Again, the overall sound signature is still the same. So I wouldn't say that this is like a warm headphone or anything like that. It is just a very natural sounding and sort of reference headphone. And in terms of the highs, it still has a bit of a peak at 12 kilohertz. So I tend to EQ that down a little bit. But I definitely enjoy the mids a little bit more. Vocals don't sound as hollow or as sort of recessed as they did with the prior Arya headphones. Vocals are definitely a little bit more pronounced. And so in that respect, the sort of mid-range of the headphones is a little bit pronounced. And then, of course, I appreciate the increased bass impactfulness on the Stealth Magnet version as well. And I will say that being a bit of a bass head, I do even boost the bass a little bit still with these, but you know, your preferences in mileage may actually vary. You may not even need to EQ these at all. You may just prefer the overall sound signature just right out of the box without any EQ. And they're certainly quite listenable that way. Compared to the prior Aryas, I think that they don't have as many frequency holes, and you don't feel like as much is missing with these when you're listening to them. So it's just more of a sort of a full range, more natural sound. And they're very, very resolving. You can hear a lot of details in your music with these headphones, much like with something like the Sennheiser HD800s. However, they don't have the brittle sounding or sort of like harsh treble sound that you do get with the Sennheisers. So in that respect, these really are reference headphones. You know, you're going to hear a lot of details with these headphones, but at the same time, they have an uncanny way of being sort of natural sounding and sort of dynamic and involving at the same time. So the Stealth Magnet Aryas are just a really great headphone for the price. And I think at this price point, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. And in fact, as I mentioned, they punch well above this price point as well. Now let me show you the packaging that these came with, because they did change that. So I think when the Stealth Aryas came out, they even had a different package than this, but this is their current package here. As you can see, it says nanometer thickness diaphragm, stealth magnets, and then these are the specs right here. They are a little bit easier to drive than the prior Aryas. These are 32 ohm impedance, and they have the sensitivity of 94 dB. So they're a little bit easier to drive, but still I think require a headphone amp. So they're not, I would say, easy to drive headphones. They're just a little bit easier than the prior version. And then what's kind of cool is they actually include a headphone stand in here now. It also has a box, which you don't see here, but that has the cable. But as you can see here, here's the cutout for the headphones. The headphones kind of go in here, but this actually pulls out, and I thought this was really ingenious. That pulls out and turns into a headphone stand, which is really cool. So you've got a little plastic hard base right here, and this can just sit on your shelf or your desk, and your headphones can just go right here. It's got the cutout for the ear cups. It is sort of cheapy feeling because this is foam. This is just pretty much like packaging material, but this is a completely usable headphone stand. So I thought this was a really cool idea. Also, these headphones come with the same headphone cable that the prior Aryas came with, which is a nice, cloth covered cable. It's not like a rubbery cable, which is nice. I'm using an upgrade cable here. These are actually made by Blue Jeans Cable. I actually did a video on these before, so I like these headphone cables a lot. So that's what I'm using with these. But yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with the Stealth Magnet Arya headphones. They just sound really very detailed, and when you listen to them, it's like you're hearing all the details, but not in a harsh way. And in some ways it's kind of uncanny because you're hearing tons of micro details, but it doesn't really have like the harshness that you might expect with headphones that provide a lot of detail in that way. So yeah, check the description field for current pricing and availability on the HifiMan Arya Stealth Magnet headphones. And for community and discussion, I'll see you in the comments field. If you thought this video was cool, give it a thumbs up. If you thought it sucked, give it a thumbs down. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Take care.